P6, Basic to Advanced User. Primavera P6 is a prominent planning software which is widely used across the globe in industries ranging from construction, manufacturing, shipping, oil and gas, defense, and many more. This planning tool will help in initial planning development of a project monitoring, tracking the program, progress updating, and reporting across various streams of the project communications. The course aims to disseminate practical applications of planning software, such as initial program plan development, resource and cost assigning to the program plan, program project monitoring, and project communications across the stakeholders involved in this development of project. The stakeholders could be of clients, contractors, subcontractors, suppliers, and vendors. And this Primavera P6 is developed using one of the recent version of the program. And the course aims to disseminate the information of introduction, getting started with the basics like setting up the format and creating a EPS. EPS is nothing but enterprise project structure in the introduction section 1. Coming to the section 2, we'll start with program development by creating a work breakdown structure. Under the work breakdown structure, we'll create an activities and show you about the milestones and assigning durations. Later, we'll go with the grouping, sorting, a filter on layout formats of the P6. And we'll also discuss about assigning a calendar for the activities. In a section 3, once we have developed the program in section 2, the next step is to assign resources by creating a resource pool in a resource sheet of the Primavera P6 program. Once resources are created, there are 3 types of resources. One is material, labor, and non-labor resources. And we'll discuss about how to create these resources with all the units, then assign these resources into the program which is created in the section 2. Once the resources are assigned to the program, how to do resource leveling. Resource leveling is a resource optimization which will allocate the resource very optimized way in a smooth manner so that the resource over allocation will be cleared off. And the next step is inputting the cost and expenses into the program activities. Once resources and expenses costs are assigned, we have to go for monitoring, periodical monitoring, updating, and reporting steps. By creating a baseline and assigning this baseline to the project, and how to assign baseline to a project, multiple baselines, we'll discuss more details in this aspect also. Once baseline is created, the progress updating formats, what are the things to consider in program updating and tracking also. Once we have all familiar with all this progress updating and tracking, we have to think about communicating the program periodically with all the stakeholders. Communicating in the sense saving the files, exporting the files, sending to the files, and inputting back, and generating various useful reports for a meeting or communications or records. This helps you in totality of project management. The section 1, Introduction to Monitoring and Updating, deals with all the latest applications and methodology in understanding the Primavera P6 course. What are the training takeaways? What you could expect from this course? You will be exposed to semi-advanced level of applications and hands-on single project training, which is tailor-made to simplify the explanation process. We are considering a simple project to build upon by creating a program and developing it, and assigning resources and cost to it, monitoring the created program and updating periodically, and communicating the program to stakeholders across the project. With the help of single sample project, we'll be dealing with all these aspects to make sure that you learn all the tools and techniques applicable practically in project management. So this will expose you to the semi-advanced level of applications. The only thing you need to do is practice. Practice makes a man perfect. You continue to practice with different project. You can create your own project. To keep it in totality, to keep it in a very simplistic manner, we have considered a sample single project only, which is to cover all these aspects in 2.5 hours. Hopefully, you will be using all this application to develop a good project and become a good project manager. I wish you a good luck in continued learning. We'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you. Let's go to the P6 icon. This is P6 professional icon. Double click on it and login credential window will appear. Here you could notice the version type. The version we are dealing with is 16.2. Please enter your login credentials like password. Before that, make sure you have selected a right database file. The database which you have assigned during the installation of software must be selected. Then enter your login credentials. The password is admin. Click OK. The appropriate industry for your organization has not been selected in admin preferences. We can do it later. Click OK. So here I would like to change the startup appearance. I want to see the global project, create new project and open recent project. To change the startup appearance window, go to edit, click on user preferences, go to application. You can notice the startup window. Application startup window, you would like to see the project activities. Click on the activities. Show the welcome dialog at the startup. Show name and descriptions in group and sorting. And close it. Exit the file. So exit the application. Click S. And then re-click on P6 icon. Double click on it. Enter your login credential, password, admin. Click OK. It's loading up, so you can see the startup window. This is welcome dialog box. You can create a new project from here. You can open existing project. You can also open a last project. We can open global data. So let's open a global data. Click OK again. The global data consists of all the pre-templates like belonging to different organizations. So you can notice that this is the calendar view. It can be changed. Go to view, show on top. You can change it to just a table format. You cannot see the Gantt chart area, or else you can do it directly here. Click on the Gantt chart view. You can see here changes, chart view. We can see the changes, projects in chart view. So let's go back to the Gantt chart view. And also you can sort it and group it under different sections. Like currently it is under EPS breakdown section. You can change it to, if you have assigned a project manager, different projects, you click on the project manager. You can see the project manager both comes handling all these projects. So similarly, you can change or customize the view in group and sorting, like location, for example, like which projects are in the North America, which projects are in the Latin America. There is one more thing. In show on bottom, we may not be interested to look into no bottom layout, so click on it, so the bottom layout will disappear. So if you want to see the bottom layout details, click on the details. You can see the project details such as general, project ID, status, checkout status, checked out by, who is the responsible manager, project name, if any project website, data, date checkout, checked out, and project leveling priority. We will take one example project such as Juniper Nursing Home or Janit Continuity Program. We'll go for a construction project. Okay, you can see the project ID, the priority level. Notebook consists of the descriptions and executive feedback. You can add the descriptions here. Click on it, add the description, cancel. Budget log, what is the budget, original budget, current budget, proposed budget, what is the spending plan. So there is no spending plan details here. The budget summary, variance, there is no variance in this project. We can also see the scheduled dates, like project plan start date, data date, actual start date, must finish by, finish, actual finish, anticipated start, anticipated finish, and the funding sources and the shares you can add here. Like if you are having a joint venture, you can add the funding sources, the codes, the project code. We'll go into the codes in activity codes and all the details. What are the default functions, like duration type, percent complete, physical or units or duration. Activity types, it's a task dependent usually. You can assign a calendar for the project. These are the set of calendars you can assign to the project. Resources, standard rate, external rate, price per unit, and settings. When was the last summarized data? Fiscal year of the day begins from January 1st. Project baseline for earned value calculation is project baseline. Define critical activities. Total flow is less than or equal to 0 hour or longest path. We'll consider total flow less than or equal to 0. Calculations, project calculations. Default price per unit, activity percent, complete based on activity steps. When updating actual units, we have two options. One is add actual to remaining or subtract from at completion. We prefer to keep it as subtract actual from at completion. Update units when cost changes on resource assignment. Some of the consultants' feedback is recorded here. If you don't want to see this bottom layout, you can go to the view, show on bottom, click on no bottom layout. So the bottom layout will disappear. And along with this, you must be aware about this layout and the window of the EPS. Please note that this section is called menu bar. This is a layout consisting of grouping, sorting, time scale, and this is a bottom layout. This is the view. How do you like to view the chart or table format? This is a print layout, print toolbar. This is enterprise toolbar. This section is project toolbar. And coming to this is an editing toolbar. You can add, delete, cut, copy, paste. And this one is assigning toolbar. You can assign resources, roles of the resources, activity codes, predecessors, successors. This is a move toolbar. You can move up, down, right, left. You must be aware of these functions. If you don't want some of the toolbars, you could go to the view section in the menu bar, choose toolbars. You can deselect it. Like if you don't want to see the bottom layout, deselect it. If you don't want to, I'll show you what happens if you deselect it. If you have deselected this, the bottom layout will disappear. You want status bar? I forgot to mention the status bar. The status bar is this section where what is the data date of the project, baseline, who is the user, what is the database. Yeah, this is the status bar. This is how you can change your toolbar for the P6 applications. So I select the bottom layout. I want the bottom layout. Next, we will be moving to the developing a new sample project. We will discuss the sample project from the initial stage. Thank you. Let's come back to the session of creating a new EPS and project. This is an open global data project layout. This is sorted according to the location. Let's change this according to the EPS. EPS means enterprise project structure. In menu bar, click on the view, go to group and sort by. It's currently in the location format. Go to group and sort by, click on EPS. The layout changes into EPS. Before creating a project, we must create a new EPS. Let's go to the creating of new EPS, that is enterprise project structure. Go to enterprise, click on EPS enterprise project structure. As you could see, all these projects or EPS structure has been created here, like product development having another set of this pyramid icon represents enterprise. So you could create a different EPS structure. For every project to be created, we must insert that project into the respective EPS. Now, our industry is engineering and constructions. So I shall be adding a new enterprise project structure, and this project is belonging to engineering thing. So my project will be build construction. So I shall be naming it as like civil. Let's go to the name, EPS name. The project EPS name will be building construction. Okay. Now this I shall be indenting inside engineering and construction. To indent it, we just have to click on this. To shift left, click here, and we can move the EPS into different sections like up, down, like I moved it here and insert it. Okay, so the EPS has been created for engineering and construction. Under this we have a civil building construction. So I will be adding a new EPS under this, like same thing like civil, but it's a baseline. Same thing, baseline. Under the same EPS, add one more, civil PM project monitoring. I'll change the name into project monitoring. I'll add it again. So for us, these two are more than enough. This is one I just added to delete. So to show how to delete this, just go here and click delete. This section is for to add, this is for to delete, this is for to, you can cut this or copy this or insert anywhere under the structure. So EPS has been created. The ID is civil, name is building construction, enterprise is the responsible manager, then close it. Before we start any project, we must make sure that user preferences and admin preferences settings are cross-verified and checked. So we go to the edit, click on user preferences. We'll be checking about the time units like hours and decimals. Are we inserting any decimals or not? So duration format and date format, like do we want month, day, year, or day, month, year? Every country has different set of formatting structure. So we just follow this day, month, year for us. As of now, the time format. Some of the complex projects are the people who intend to go more detailed, they go for inserting the time. For this moment, for the sample project, I'll not be using the time. Then the currency. So you can use different currency if you're staying in different project requirement or country location requirement. You can use appropriate currency. Application we discussed in here is in first section. You can insert a password, resource analysis, calculations. So once user preferences are done, click close. Then I shall be checking on admin preferences, like what is the general, like code separator, start of the day or start day of the week, activity duration, how much is the default duration, data limits, ID length, characters, time period like hours per day, hours per week, hours per month, hours per year. The earned value calculation settings like computing performance percent complete by activity percent complete, or ETC performance index like 1 hour cost performance index or cost performance into schedule performance index, like any custom. So with respect to earned value, we'll be dealing this separately in a later session. Reports like what is the header label, options like by calendar or by financial period for summarize and store resource spread, rate types like standard, and you can like select the rate type, industry. So we'll be selecting engineering and construction as an appropriate the projects. Click close. We can start up the project, inserting a project. Let's go to our EPS, which we had created like this. Civil building construction, civil baseline, civil PM, civil project monitoring. So I'll go to the enterprise, click on enterprise structure. So I'll just bring this project's EPS structure outside of this engineering and construction because I want to monitor it independently. Bring this out, like shift left, again this one. The moment I make changes, you could notice that it is getting independent from engineering and construction. So now I'll just make this as an main EPS. I'll shift baseline is secondary. First we create a project in baseline, then once baseline is approved, then we move the same copy into the project monitoring to monitor the project progress for a period of time. So I'll just indent it under building and construction. Same here, I'll indent the PM project monitoring, then move this out because this is the first thing we are going to do. Then close it. It's been created, and the responsible manager, you must know this, like responsible manager, we have assigned ENC, double click on it. Now an enterprise project structure has been created. As you could notice, this is an horizontal splitter bar, vertical splitter bar is this one. Now after enterprise project structure has been created and we are ready to go ahead with starting a project, then click add here. The new project has been added. Select EPS. I have selected baseline. You can choose it, like if you want to choose. You can drag it down and up to go into more clarity and details. Click here. Select. Has been selected. Click next. Project, new project ID. Civil. This is first project, so civil. 01 project name, 2-story villa. So this is actually a civil engineering project, so I'll be naming. You create a specific project title, name and EPS structure suitable to your background and your organization or company. So this is the process we had with click next. I'll be choosing the project start will be in the next week, like 4th May 2020 Monday. Click OK. Must finish by an year. Move to 2021. Click on it. On Tuesday 4th May 2021. Next. Rate type is a standard rate. Click next. Congratulations, your new project has been created. Click finish. That's it, the project has been created. Now you could copy the same project. Click on the right click on it, copy, paste under different EPS. Select options to include if you have all the reports, documents, funding source and all issues and thresholds. If you don't want some of them, I don't want the notebook details, I'll click it. You can cut here, repaste it, go here, click paste, sorry, that's copy, click paste. Then again you can choose whichever you need. If you don't need, deselect those things. The thing goes on. So now I'm focusing on creating a baseline of a project. So I'll be deleting the file under project monitoring. Once baseline is finalized, then I'll set this as a baseline and move to project monitoring stage. So at this moment, I'll be just deleting this file. I click here, delete, then yes, I'm going to delete this. Okay, thank you. We have deleted, we have created a project. Now, the project has been created. In the next session, we'll be discussing about adding activities, durations, assigning calendar,